in the first quarter, and they piled on 10 in the last to win 22-14, 146 to 11-16, 82. Matthews got 5 goals in the first quarter to set up the Hawks win, even though the Tigers got to within 16 points early in the final term. From the MCG, some highlights, and first up, Jimmy Jess onto Kane.
Across to Mervyn, who shoots towards goal, and what's Kane done?
Hawthorn, Brereton, plays on, and a goal.
Plays on straight away, straightens up, goes goalward. No mistake about that.
Jess
has possession.
On to Kevin Bartlett.
Goes to Bartlett. Now KB can shoot towards goal. He fires and puts it through.
And the same pair combined well for another goal. Jess on to Kevin Bartlett.
A chance of a goal. Makes no mistake.
For Hawthorn, Gary Buckenara.
He goes goalward. It's a lovely goal from Buckenara.
And then a long goal for the Hawks, kicked by John Kennedy.
Forward by Swab, picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy now has time to steady, puts the long kick forward. Is he online? He is, and another goal! Swings the ball
and then
back.
For Hawthorn, Lee Matthews, goal number 6.
Up high. Couldn't take the mark. Jep was tripped. Matthews plays the ball forward. Could be goal number 6. Lee Matthews, 6 goals for the game.
In the Sunday press out tomorrow. Well, in recent times, there's been no love lost between Hawthorn and Richmond. Allegations of the attempted poaching of Tuck and Eade, a clash between officials of the two clubs recently at the interstate match in Perth, and earlier in the year, of course, Jeff Ablett's crossing to the Punt Road Oval have all added fuel to the fire. On the field, the Hawks last year were supreme, winning both matches. This year, with the Tigers down near the bottom, Richmond have won twice in round 6 at VFL Park, and again there, a fortnight back in a semi-final of the Sterling Cup. Although the Hawks were second and the Tigers second last, a big crowd was at the MCG in excess of 30,000, and we pick up our replay tonight at the 11-minute mark of the first quarter. Commentators are Sandy Roberts and Bob Skilton.
With a drop punt towards centre wing, Knights coming into the pack, unable to take it. Landy does, reading it well. Pushes it back towards the half-forward line. There doesn't seem to be any coordination at all with that Richmond forward zone at the moment as it goes over the head of Wallace, but he's got support through Domenico, who goes short to Matthews. 3 metres in front of Palm.
A beautiful pass, Sandy.
It was a beautiful pass, yes. That was old-style football. Not too old, Bobby.
No, it was Bertie Domenico. There's Lee Matthews trying for goal number 3, and goal number 3 it is. So Lee Matthews, 10 minutes into the first term, 3 goals on the board. And, well, it spells danger for the Tigers with the replay coming up. Mervyn Kane almost taking the mark. Kennedy getting the hand pass across to Rodney Eade. A lovely little pass from Eade to Domenico. And watch this one now. Straight onto the chest virtually, as Matthews, not trying to take a chest mark, correctly put the hands out in front so that they couldn't punch it away.
So we're back in the middle. The Hawks doing it well. Lee wins it again. They can't seem to get it down to that forward zone. Wallace, a hurried kick over the top. Now the bounce may favour Peart. Through he storms, shrugs one tackle, gets caught by Tuck, puts the handball away, but straight to Terry Wallace. Ran into a tackle, however. So too did Tim Jep, not before he got it to Waitman. Another one down towards the half-forward line. Roach was waiting out wide, but electing to kick was Kane, and I think he's successful. He is. Richmond post their first, and they now trail by 2 straight kicks. 3-1 to 1-1 on 7's big lead.
Yes, and Dale Waitman right in the thick of things as we see the ball forced forward by the Tigers. And on replay, you're watching the big league on Channel 7 as Mervyn Kane straightens up and puts the ball through for 4 points and the first goal of the game for the Tigers.
Centre bounce once again. Lee has been dominating these and does so again on that occasion. Russell Green tackled strongly, so too Michael Tuck, and umpire Cameron comes in and says, "Gentlemen, which will be my ball."
From the bounce, Lee again gets a big thump, taken this time by Robertson. Quick hand pass in from Robertson, another hand pass that time from Kennedy. Eade over the top to Buckenara, and the former Western Australian puts it wide, looking for Langford, who takes the mark. The 2 number 28s, Langford and Preston. Langford gets a hand pass towards Robertson. Foolish piece of play by Robertson. In fact, it was almost had a touch of Larising, really. But now Andy Preston ducked the head and pays the penalty, holding the ball. Palm, a nice mark in front of Matthews. Good play by David Palm. Goes back towards the wing, looking for Preston. Coming across is Payton. Preston gets it. A lovely piece of play by Preston to get the hand pass up to Emmett Dunn towards centre half forward. Kelvin Moore punts it away. It comes back to Jess. Jess puts the ball forward. Danger for the Hawks as we find Tempany come out with the ball. Can't quite get the ball clear. Up towards Bartlett. Eade punches it away. Towards Green. Good defence as Green gets a hand pass over the top to Wallace. Wallace now straight down the ground looking for Knights. Knights should have taken the mark. Foolish play on that occasion. Knights having every opportunity to take that mark.
So it will be Neil Peart. Called play on. Rioli. Morris and Mark Lee have both had wonderful season for the Tigers so far. 15 metres will get him down towards Jimmy Jess, who flies high. No mark taken. Bartlett looking for the free kick. Ooh, breeze lightning, that one, Bobby.
No doubt about that, Sandy. Umpire Cameron could see what was going to happen and did not give Bartlett enough time to have an opportunity.
So Mew back towards centre wing. Fisted down over the head of Rioli, but the bounce may in the end favour him. No, taken out by Wallace. Moore out even wider. Preston, or was it Rollins using the right foot? In fact it was, but again the Hawthorn defence working better at the moment as Buckenara receives, tries to get the handball back again. Rioli intercepts, looks for the free kick. Umpire Cameron says no, you go on with it, as Waitman gets it across to the general. Forward towards Bartlett. Couldn't take it. Jess is there for support. Jimmy gets away, gives the handball across to Mervyn, who shoots towards goal. And what's Kane done? He's trying to do a Lee Matthews, and he's well on the way because he's kicked Richmond second, his second, and they now trail by a goal.
There's a number of mistakes being made by both sides at this stage, and when the mistakes have been made, the opposition have capitalised. This time Jimmy Jess comes across, well tackled by Ayres, but gets the hand pass across to Kane, and Mervyn Kane once again proving a valuable half forward. He's got the 2 goals on the board kicked by the Tigers. At the centre bounce, it would be Payton against Lee. Lee again gets the ball away, taken this time by Wallace. And the Hawthorn centre man puts it forward, looking for Brereton. He takes the mark, plays on straight away, straightens up, goes goalward. No mistake about that. Brereton kicks his first, and Hawthorn 4-1, 25, lead the Tigers 2-1, 13.
Dermot Brereton taking the mark strongly and is able to get away. As we watch it again out of the middle, and although Lee is winning the ruck handsomely, Wallace takes it out. Brereton from behind sees he's clear, steadies, and makes no mistake about posting Hawthorn's 4th goal. So again they open up this 2-goal break. 25 plays 13, some 17 minutes in to the first quarter. Now Lee winning it again. Wiley to half forward. Bartlett in front, but a good mark taken over the top. It's called play on as Mew receiving the handball from his teammate there in Eade. And again, they're out of trouble as Green bounces his way over centre wing. Has a look up forward. In towards the pocket he goes. Was looking for Ken Judge. Judge may not get there in time. He does so, but has given away the free kick.
Tim Jepp to take the free kick in the back pocket. And Jepp and Judge should know a fair bit about each other, Sandy, both being former Western Australians. The kick from Jepp. Lee up high, 2 grabs and takes a nice mark. In towards the centre he goes. Robertson in position, leaves it for Langford, and still a Hawthorn mark. So it's Chris Langford, centre of the ground, with the aid of a 15-metre penalty. It's about 70 metres out for the goal. Gets a lead from Matthews. And so Lee Matthews with 3 goals on the board already, and he is capable of kicking the distance. He's about 45 to 50 metres out. The kick from Matthews just makes the distance, and he's kicked his 4th.
A great start by Lee Matthews as he takes Hawthorn to 5-1, careering away with another 3-goal break from the Tigers, who have kicked 2-1.
Farm will be shifted away from Lee Matthews.
Yes, I'm afraid I couldn't give you odds on that one, Robert. out of the centre. The chance for the Tigers again. Through the arms of Rioli. Back he goes, looking for it. Weaves his way through. A long handball out to the Ghost. Dummies, gives it back to Morris, who will shoot in towards full forward. No one at home, however.
At the other end of the ground, Jep is in the back pocket, and Palm coming up the ground to go on to Judge.
Thank you very much, Robert. As you predicted, we'll go back to the other end of the ground where Michael Tuck prepares himself for the mark. Unable to complete it. At the back is Andy Preston. Hooking it in towards Bartlett, who flew. So too did Ayres, who came away with it, and through effective handball. Look at Russell Green stream out of defence and turn it into attack. Down towards Knights. Judge waiting behind, but it comes down in front to Wall. Gets the lightning handball away. Peart a little too slow, but the umpire said he was held whilst not in possession.
Good decision, I felt. Peart did get rid of the ball and was still being held.
He comes out wide. Preston. To half forward. Jess gave a slight nudge. James doesn't agree. But Kelvin Moore. To centre wing. Brereton, front spot. Did it well as he gets the handball across to Langford. He streams in towards Knights at half forward, who takes a strong chest mark in front of Peart. And the Hawks starting to look very, very dangerous. McCarthy down in the square. But Knights shouldn't have trouble with the distance. The drop punt on its way. He has no trouble at all, and Hawthorn move further ahead. 6-1 to 2-1 on Sevens. Big lead.
Well, Sandy, the most impressive part to me of the Hawthorn game at the moment is the teamwork with the Hawthorn defence. The number of times we've able to witness, and right now we see Langford going forward with the pass to Knights on replay, but the Hawthorn defence always seem to have 2 or 3 players around to take a hand pass.
6-1 to 2-1. 4 minutes or so away from time on in this first term. Michael Tuck to half forward. Lee, the juggler, takes it. Puts it out wide. Preston. Well, he backs back into trouble, and he has put his teammate David Palm under that much pressure. It allows Tuck in. Michael, I think, was looking for the free kick. It didn't come his way.
It should have, I think, Sandy.
But why back into trouble? Because you can't use your other foot. Correct. Here's the bounce. Payton and Lee. Lee up. Getting the tap. Geez, trying his heart out, Mark Lee. There's a man down in front of our commentary box who's going to be totally hoarse, I would imagine, by half-time. Giving it everything he's got at the moment.
You're hoping.
Well, I think we both are. Here's a chance now for Hawthorn. This is Robertson to half forward. Matthews again. Well, Tim Jepp's probably saying thank you very much.
Tim Jepp probably thinks that Francis is crook on him.
That's right. What did I do to deserve this? Well, he started well in the first 10 minutes.
Forward line of the Hawks as we see Matthews. And he's got the true boot on today. 5 goals to Matthews. And we're 21 minutes into the first term. It's again taking it right on the chest.
Centre bounce once again. Landy spins out of trouble, but look at his handball. Straight to Robertson. Brereton, or could have tapped it down to Knights. Pushes out in front, looks for the free kick. The umpire says, no, you go on with it. So it's forced down to Judge in the pocket. And eventually goes over for a throw-in Hawthorn's right forward pocket.
43 to 13, Sandy.
Not looking good for the Tigers at the moment. And the difference, Lee Matthews. 5 goals. McCarthy. Lee again. To centre wing. Roach was there. Still is. Bartlett. Rapidly approaching the 400. He puts out a pass and the Ghost can't juggle it. Whereas Matthews at the other end could take it with a one grab. Jimmy is not having a great start. Nevertheless, they have the opportunity again as Bartlett puts it forward, only to see Kelvin Moore intercept and take a fine mark. And he's got players running everywhere for him. Russell Green accepts it at half back and bounces his way Up towards the centre. Kicks towards Brereton, who tries to tap it forward for Knights. The ball could sit for him. He hasn't got anyone going past. Puts it onto the left foot. Wobbles it in towards the pocket. Judge is there. Can't take the mark with McCarthy there also. And another throw-in.
Throw-in to take place in the forward pocket for Hawthorn. We'll find Michael McCarthy will do the ruck work for the Hawks. Lee of Richmond coming in. McCarthy at the present moment holding the front position, but Lee with a big fist puts it back over the boundary line about 10 metres further away from the Hawthorn goal. Now, present moment, Mark Lee dominating the ruck work with a 15-4 margin. Gets it down again towards Wall. Knocked on by Tuck. Brilliant play by Tuck. Can he keep it in play? No, he cannot. So we'll find a throw-in to take place about 15 metres around from the behind post. Still in the forward pocket for Hawthorn. McCarthy again with the front position. Lee gets it down towards Dunn. Dunn a short kick forward. Peter Knights comes out. Got a bad bounce though with the front position. It's taken there by Peart. Peart from the back pocket. Up towards the centre. Landy's there for the Tigers. Takes the mark. Plays on straight away. The short kick from Landy going forward. Green comes across. Pushed in the back from from Jess, I should say. Hot one too high at the same time. And once again, the Hawthorn defence having someone to hand pass to. The kick coming from Ayres and DiPietro Menigo takes the mark. Play on, but he's got the hand pass out to Robertson. Robertson with the kick high. Knights at the back, not going up. The ball brought down. Wall and collides with Martello. He gets the hand pass across to Palm. Likewise to Landy. Landy puts the kick up towards the wing and Robert Wiley takes them up.
Wiley set to put the Tigers up towards half forward. Jess, the target, has possession. Across he goes to Bartlett. Now KB can shoot towards goal. He fires and puts it through. Well, he kicks his first and Richmond moved to 3-1, trailing Hawthorn 7-1 on Seven's big lead. Instant relief? Well, not really at the moment for the Tigers. As we see Jess getting the favourable bounce, giving it across to Bartlett, and he made no mistake.
Hawthorn are playing with an extra man in defence really, Sandy, because at every centre bounce, Buckenara goes in to pick up Rioli, and then after the bounce, Wallace becomes the centre man. But Hawthorn really have, I think, caught Richmond unawares, and Richmond not quite knowing who's in what position. And Buckenara, one of the players we're talking of, now going for it. Tackle too high there by Wiley, and Buckenara will take the kick.
Three West Australians there, Rioli, Wiley, Buckenara. Matthews again. Gee.
The way he's kicking, Sandy, I wouldn't even be a bit surprised.
No, nor would I. Well, in fact, if he keeps the average up, he will kick in excess of 20 goals for the match.
You can have odds to that.
He's kicked 5 to date, and no.
Straight.
Almost a beautiful pass. I don't know why the mark wasn't taken by Dermot Brereton. Wiley in trouble, across to Rioli. Rioli another handball away, looking for Landy. Goes to ground, taken by Emmett Dunn, making a welcome return. Long towards Jess. Moore with him, fisted down. Roach in towards the pocket. Eade unable to complete the mark. A valiant effort, but he has support through Calvin Moore, who goes towards Michael Tuck. The fire in the middle. Waiting down was Chris Mew. Short up towards the wing. Langford is loose there and he juggles a one-hander. No one running past, so he pops it in towards Dermot Brereton. In trouble, but has time enough to get an effective handball to Buckenara. Look at the pass. Lee Matthews just unable to take the mark. DiPietro Domenico, the goal-kicking sensation, goes across the face of goal. Lee and Knights, they're both put on superb acting performances, and Peter has won the Grammy.
Tuck off the ground, Tuck in real trouble.
Real trouble, yes. We notice it looks to be a wrist, or possibly, well, it's definitely a wrist or finger or whatever, but Michael is being rushed down to the medical rooms. There we see him now, and that's bad luck for the Hawks. Such a vital part.
It's in a bit of pain too, Sandy.
Yes, it's unfortunate. But the action is with Peter Knights, who guides it beautifully through the goals, and on they go. Peter Knights has kicked 2, And Hawthorn showing very little mercy at the moment. 8-1 to 3-1 on Sevens big lead.
In the match, Lee Matthews 5 goals in the first quarter, and Hawthorn led at the 3 changes by convincing margins. We pick up play now in the final quarter, some 7.5 minutes in, the Hawks leading by 22 points.
Moore towards the wing, McCarthy in the front position, knocked away there by Preston. Waitman got the ball through, and a quick hand pass came from Egan onto Rioli, out to Preston, and Andy Preston now past half forward. Jess up high, knocks the ball on. Bartlett a chance of a goal, makes no mistake, and Kevin Bartlett brings up his second goal, and the Tigers back in business. 2 goals to Kevin Bartlett as Jimmy Jess knocked the ball over and didn't attempt to take the mark, and Kevin Bartlett finished it off. So we find now 9-14 to 12-12, and on replay we see Preston putting the ball forward, Jimmy Jess hooking the ball over the back, and Kevin Bartlett streaming in, and you rarely see Kevin Bartlett miss those.
Centre bounce, 68, plays 84, 16-point break to the Hawks, who now do need a steadier. Polkinghorne trying to tap it over the top. Free kick going the way of Hawthorn. McCarthy gives it across to Kennedy. He gives it to Wallace, who shoots towards goal. Here's the quick reply. Can't come much quicker than that. And the Hawks steady to once again make it 22 points. 13-12 to 9-14 on Sevens big lead.
Well, Hawthorn with a 8-2 first quarter ran to a 31-point lead at quarter time as we watch the replay of that last goal. And 21 points was the margin at half time, 27 points at three-quarter time, and right now it's 22 points.
Just over 9 minutes elapsed in this final term. Payton from the centre, but taken by Rioli. Down towards Bartlett, who gave a beautiful push in the back. Mew. More danger here, but they're going to get out of it through basketball. Schwab. To Robinson. Back again to Peter Schwab, who runs his full distance, then goes long in towards the pocket. Matthews attempted to use the body, was edged out.
And Burton might take the free kick.
Is going to get a free kick. In front of the small scoreboard that says Richmond 68, Hawthorn 90. Alan Martello cannot believe it, but there it is. So Dermot Brereton kicked 1 goal. That in fact was in their first quarter onslaught. Managed to sneak one in between Lee Matthews' performance, and he's now made it 2. So the Hawks move to 14-12, leading Richmond 9-14 on Sevens big lead.
Yes, well, a couple of moments ago, Richmond had high hopes after that goal by Kevin Bartlett. But back in business, the Hawks with a goal by Wallace, and there we see Martello into the back of Brereton, and on replay you saw just why Dermot Brereton was able to bring up his second goal.
96, plays 68 from the middle. Mark Lee tumbles the punt down towards Jess, who'll fly from the side. Ayres intercepts, however. Sets up the handball. Eade, short to Wallace, who had a marvellous third term, something like 10 or 11 kicks. Took a couple of heavy knocks, but has bounced back beautifully. Centre wing, and in fact over the line. So Hawthorn will be saddened by the injury to Michael Tuck, particularly if it is a breakage of any sort, because it could mean he may not be ready until just about finals time. But nonetheless, they're marching towards the top 2 or 3 and intent on retaining that position. Lee again. McCarthy. Peart. Wallace. Real terrier. Throw in again. Lee trying to pluck it out of the air. Egan at the bottom of the pack. Over the top goes Matthew Wall. And I think he thought he may have got a free kick out of that, but it wasn't to be.
So the bounce to take place on the half-forward line for Hawthorn. McCarthy competing against Lee. Lee gets the tap, goes to Buckenara. He goes goal, and it's a lovely goal from Buckenara, and that really puts the Tigers in trouble. Gary Buckenara kicks his second goal, and it shows the folly of Ruckman putting the ball back in towards the centre of the ground. Mark Lee hooking the ball over the top. On replay, we watch now, Lee puts it towards the centre of the ground and really making an attacking position for Gary Buckenara.
And while all that was happening, Palm is back on the ground and Waitman off for Richmond, and the Tigers now in awful trouble. 34 points down. Wallace, yet another kick from the centre, long driving towards Brereton, who takes it on the chest. And David Palm has inexplicably given away 15 metres. And the umpire now having a word with Peter Knights, and perhaps if he's not careful, may lose it. Nevertheless, Dermot Brereton has the 15 metres. It brings him to within 25 metres of goal. He's already kicked 2, and an excellent chance of making this a 40-point break. And he's done exactly that. He's now kicked 3, and the Hawks have 4 premiership points in the keeping. In Sevens Big League, they lead 16-12 to 9-14.
So they really hit back with a burst after that goal by Kevin Bartlett, as we watch now. And you can see for yourself just how long after Brereton had taken the mark that David Palm came in and gave that hip and shoulder bump that cost him 15 metres. 4 goals in 5 minutes by the Hawks. As Lee got the tap that time. Wallace gets a short kick up in the air. Travelled no distance whatsoever. Rioli lost possession. And the umpire deciding that he'll bounce it again. The umpire on this occasion, umpire Peter Cameron. 5 metres wide of the centre circle. Payton gets the tap. Missed that time by Dunn. Forced forward by Swab. Picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy now has time to steady. Puts the long kick forward. Is he online? He is, and another goal! 5 goals in 5 minutes.
Sevens Big League is part of the Holden Premiership season.
Well, that burst that Bob Skilton mentioned there certainly won the match for Hawthorn. They won ultimately by 64 points. Lee Matthews 6 goals, and that made his tally in VFL to 750. Buckenara 3 and Brereton 3 for Hawthorn. For the Tigers, Rioli got 2 goals and Mervyn Kane also got 2. The stats on the match from the MCG: the kicks in favour of Hawthorn, but by only 4. The marks, very little difference, only 4 again in favour of Hawthorn. The frees, a margin of 1. The handballs, 59 to 94 though in favour of Hawthorn. The hit-outs, 42 to 20. Mark Lee playing very good football today for the Tigers. And the shots at goal, 45 to 41 there, and also in favour of Richmond, but Hawthorn kicking just that little bit.